Hi, I wanted to make another video today instead of the regular music vids I make. I've got this MXL 770 mic and I stumbled upon some web pages that spoke about upgrading this microphone with a new membrane that will make it sound more or less like a Neumann RK47 equipped microphone. So I bought on eBay this membrane, which is a large membrane. In this one it looks like there is a large membrane, but there isn't actually. In this video we'll be doing the conversion, and also we will be checking out later on what the difference are in sound between the two. Well, the same mic, but after conversion. See you in a bit. So first things first, we're going to dismantle the mic by screwing loose this part, bottom part here. And then we can take away this part, and it leaves us with the circuits that we can also change, but in this case we're only going to change the membrane. There is another upgrade that can allow the circuit to be changed as well, but I decided to go for the membrane as the webpage stated that the membrane is 90% of the sound, so most of it can be covered by doing only the membrane. So after removing the outer part, you lose these 3 screws, which makes it possible to get rid of this part for the moment. There's a loose ring that we keep there, and now we can see the membrane here. It looks big, but if you look at the new membrane, it's a lot bigger. So I'm very excited to hear the difference. I hope you are as well. Oh, sorry, let's put it in the correct position. Alright, there's two wires going. This is the plus, this is the minus. The minus goes here and the plus goes directly here, I think. Or no, where does it go? It goes here. So that's the next thing to do, is unsolder these 2 wires and well, attach a new one. One thing I didn't mention yet, the old membrane has only got a plus on this side and the negative over here, while the new membrane has got a plus on this side, a plus on this side, and the negative over there. So we're going to use for now only one of the 2 membranes, but by upgrading the circuit you can also use the other side. For now we're just going to use one side and leave the other cable unconnected. So let's first mark the negative or the plus, whatever you please. There's no need to mark both of them, of course. So I just mark this with it. So we know that the plus is, or the negative is there. And now let's unsolder this one. This one. And the 2 goes here. Alright, now next thing is to unscrew the top 2 screws here and loosen up the ones on the sides, which I already did, that's why it's a bit unstable. and we've got the plateau of the membrane fixed. We can pull out the old cables, check whether they go over there. Alright, and this is it. Now we gotta remove it. Make sure that you see that it's attached like this. Okay, to further dismantle it, I've screwed loose these two, and this is the old membrane. The new membrane comes with this post, which we need to connect to the old base. But there's a small problem here. We've got one screw in the middle, so we gotta make a hole here, and it's Sunday and I don't have a metal, how do you call it, a metal drill. So I gotta wait until tomorrow to make that happen. I'll continue tomorrow then, but also I'll show you that here is the post or the membrane. Here's some holes, and I can fix them like this, and you'll place them in its place like this later on. To be continued. Okay, it's a day later, and as you might see, I drilled a hole in the base plate. That was necessary because this is the old membrane. As you might see, it has a large foot to be connected to the base like this with some screws. And the new membrane only has one screw in the bottom, which needed to be in the center. So I also placed the new membrane on its foot. So we are ready to assemble the microphone again. Let's go with it. Okay, the new membrane is placed with the screw on the platform. One thing that we need to remember is this new membrane has got two sides, and our circuit doesn't support it. It only supports one side. So one wire we need to we don't need to use. Which one it is the one at the back side of the microphone. Now this is the front side of the microphone, because usually the logo is on the front side. And we see this thing here, and we see also this thing here, and in the end it will end up like this, so it can't move. Therefore the wire on the back side is this one, and we need to connect that to you see, this is the back wire, sorry. Let's connect it like this with a bit of tape to the foot of the... So, which leaves us with two wires. If you remember, we've got the base here. And we need to connect them to this side here. This side and this side, and this one was the one that I marked as being negative. So this is the other side, this is the plus side. So we need to connect the microphone to these two. But first let's reassemble this by placing this in between here. Okay, everything is connected, so let's try to heat this one up and connect it to the well, that took a little longer than I thought, but eventually it's in its place. So now let's try to do the minus, the negative, which we marked. I'll get back to you when it's done. You're putting me nervous, guys. Okay, well that went easier than I thought. Everything is in its place. This seems a bit loose, but that's because we need to place these screws in between and connect them to the microphone cover like this, which will fit in easily. Let's do that. And don't forget the ring. Of course, the ring, because the ring can't be placed over these two buttons here. So we need to place the ring first. Then we turn it around. Distance holder. Okay, so we're nearly done. We've got ourselves the mic. Let's put this on. It goes in smoothly, and just screw on the bottom cover. And it's a mic like it was never anything else. Let's try it out, shall we? This is the MXL 770 before conversion. It sounds quite okay. It's got some highs and lows, some lacking mid-end if you ask me, and in mixes people say there's too much highs which can get harsh. I've noticed it while mixing, although in this way it may sound okay. This is the MXL 770 after conversion. It should sound a bit warmer since the RK47 membrane, or a replica of it, makes it sound more like a Neumann. As stated, we can improve it even more, the microphone, by replacing the circuit and making it able to choose one side or both sides of the membrane. This is why I didn't take off the cable of the second microphone part, which in the future might be necessary. I didn't change any settings on the sound card, so what we compare here is the output of the microphone before and after conversion. So what we see here is a spectrum graphic of before conversion on the left side and after conversion on the right side. I haven't done anything to the audio itself except for normalizing it. In the spectrum I don't see much difference between the two mics. If you listen to the results, I hear more clearance in the renewed mic. I reckon that it's just that will help popping out the vocals in complete recordings in the future. Well, so far the microphone conversion of the MXL 770, I like doing it. I'm pretty pleased with the results. Hope it helps you to decide whether you like to do it as well or go for a Neumann of 1,500 euros or more. Thanks for watching, and we see each other in the next video, I hope.